Okay. Good morning once again. It, at the previous classes, previous session, we had a discussion on all these parameters of the different logical channels. Okay. So that is what we were trying to highlight. First, knowing the design consideration, then structure of LTE, then radio resource part, then Amplik SCI FDMA radio resources. So these are the four 6.1 to 6.4 we were trying to know it. Right. At the second part, now we have to understand what is the downlink transport channel processing. Right. So we have one block diagram for that one. At that block diagram in detail, we are going to have a discussion. Okay. So these are all the design consideration. This is one question which I had asked for the assignment, short assignment. One more was the radio resource interface protocol. So this is a protocol which I had asked for the short assignment. Okay. Three types of channels we were discussing. Right. So this was what the last how that resource channel will be there for the resource elaborate based on the what we call the downlink resource grid. But yesterday we were started with this how this resource allocation will be done. Okay. Same thing with this with respect to the OFDMA for SCFDMA applique part. So these are the specific condition which they have given. Now the frequency of this will be 180 kilohertz. Right. And the normal code prefix will be 12 and extended also will be at 12. So you can see the grid size will be remaining same. Right. So this they have not changed. Okay. This is the one change which you can find with respect to the OFDMA downlink part and next to the uplink part. Okay. So now this is the second part of your third module, which you call it as a downlink transport channel processing overview. Okay. So this is the complete block diagram of what process takes place when you're downloading the information from the channel. Okay. So we follow few of the methods. Right. So in the communication block diagram, so general communication block diagram, you have a information which is your signal, which is been given to the modulation part, which you are given to the encoding part. Then we have an antenna which will transmit your data into the channel. And afterwards, the channel, the receiver channel or the receiver antenna will receive the data and he will try to decode the information. Now this decoding information, we say that it will happen, a demodulation will take place, a decoding process will take place, then it will reach to the receiver. Now here you see what is the actual coding or demodulation process which is going to happen. That is why you can observe that the name he has given is a channel coding processing. Okay, and it is the overview of downlink transport channel processing. So here we will find different types of segment how your data will be downloaded. Okay, so here you can see there is a CRC addition, you can see code block segmentation, we have channel coding, we have rate patching, right, and we have code block concatenation. So what are the different processing steps of the downlink transport channel if they ask? So majorly you are having these five. Okay. So what is CRC addition, which is your check bit you are going to add. You are going to go for this segmentation. This is one important parameter. Then we have a channel coding. So that is obviously we will be doing, because we are transmitting our information into a secret code. Then we will be having a rate matching. So rate matching, what it is at, so at what rate channel it is transmitting, what rate I the transmitter should transmit, and what rate the receiver will be receiving. So this also plays an important role, right? So that we have observed in again in a CCN, right? So by rate is very fast, right? The receiver rate is very slow. So whatever I transmit, it is not able to understand. So then what happens? There is a loss. Receiver rate is very fast, buy rate is very slow. Then what happens? There will be a delay. Right? If both are fast, right, then it is good, because that rate matching will be done. Or both are slow, that is also good, because you are going to have a rate matching to that one. But both are slow, it is bit a problem. Why? Because we will be having a stipulated time, within that they should reply to us. Because you can observe the mobile phone also, when I'm making a call, for call if it is ringing also, for certain duration of time it will ring, not for complete one day it will ring, right? After around 20 rings or 15 rings, it will tell that receiver is not available, you need to call once again. So those information will be present. So there are different types of rate matching, how we are going to acquire that. So those are all information we are going to learn. Okay, so next will be your concatenation. So why concatenation is required? Because you are transmitting data using multiple channels. Is it of? So multiple channels when we have, so you are segmenting your data. So one packet of data you have divided into n number of parts and you have segmented. And afterwards what happens? You need to concatenate all this data. So that is why you have one more section which we call it as a code block section. Right. So these are the major 5 types which is present in this downlink channel processing overview. Right. And in this, what is the modulation or processing type which you can find? So these are the things which is present. Like we have a code words what we are receiving, so that will be scrambled. Right. So scrambled means, so first you may receive token number 1. Next you may receive token number 20. Next you may receive token number 4. So it will be scrambled. So all this to be arranged. So only we have something called as scrambling. Then we have modulation. Then we have layer mapper. So layer mapper, it is for so layers which we are using, like physical layer, transport layer. So those mapping should be done. Then we have a pre-coding, resource mapping. Then we have a OFDMA signal generation. So this is second part, and this will be your first part. At this total, we are going to call it as a downlink transport channel processing overview. Okay. So again, down conversion is there, also up conversion will be there. So this second part we will be only discussing this block diagram in detail, what are the parameters you are going to find. So these are the things which we are going to learn in this second part. So that is what he has written here. Downlink physical layer processing mainly consists of channel coding and modulation. Channel coding, the mapping of the incoming transport blocks from back layer into the different code words. Modulation generates complex value OFDMA baseband signal for each antenna port, which are then up converted to carrier frequency. So in the communication subject, every time we will be telling that your frequency, the transmitter frequency will be 500 hertz. So carrier frequency will be there, and in between that you will be having a resonance frequency, or what we call it as a carrier frequency match. So that we are going to do. You are converting up frequency conversion for your low frequency data, so that it will match to the corporate or the hardware. So which will carry your information to the destination. So that is the part which we are learning, right? In the communication channel, what we were discussing. Now that how it is going to be processed. So that is given in this overview of the downlink transport channel processing model. So each of these blocks one by one we will be discussing now. Okay. Yeah, the voice occurs. So firstly, you can observe that it is the channel coding processing. So this is the channel coding processing which we are going to have, right? This channel coding processing. So here what we have, so we have a CRC addition, code block segmentation, channel coding, rate mapping or rate matching, or we call it as a code block concatenation. So this complete 5 blocks, we call it as a channel coding processing, right? So what we do here is that, as we have discussed, channel coding procedure we are going to apply, right? So which coding algorithm it is going to applicable, that we are going to do applicable to both downlink as well as uplink channel, right? Error control mechanism of data transmission using forward error correction FEC code. Then error detection based on the cyclic redundancy check, which we call it as a CRC, right? So what are these 5 parts? Again, the channel coding processing, we need to go, we need to learn it, or we should discuss it, right? So first part is going to take about the channel coding processing, which is your CRC addition. So what it does is that CRC is used to provide error detection on the transport block. It generates parity bits by a cyclic generator polynomial, which are then added at the end of the transmitted block. The number of parity bits can take a value of 8, 16 or 24. The receiver separates the two fields and uses the information bits to compute the expected CRC bits. Right. So we have observed same ITC concept we are going to use. So you are having some data, right? So data is given as, suppose say a 4-bit data or a 5-bit data. Suppose say 1 0 1 1 1. So for this data, I wanted to generate what is the code block. So C you are going to generate by equal to D to G, right? And when I process this generator polynomial, so I am going to get this C value, and this C value, okay, first will be your check bits. Suppose say 0 1 1 are your check bits, and your data will followed by 1 0 1 1 1, right? So easily we can identify that first 3 bits are by check bits and last 5 bits are by data bits. So this is one way of transmitting the data. One more method we call it as a systematic method and non-systematic method. Right. Again, we follow the same procedure, but the thing what we do is that instead of getting separately your data at this part, this will be jumbled. Right. So here we will be not in a position to identify which is check bit and which is data bit. So we are going to have a suitable type for the modulation part or the downlink processing channel coding part which has been taken, and we are going to add it. So how many bits it will support? That parity bits, it is of order 8, 16 or 24. Right. So if it is 8, 16 or 24, Okay, so 8 bits will be your parity bits only. So what should be your k value? So it will be always n plus k, which has been done. So obviously your all code words will be more than 8 bits length, because parity bits itself is 8 bits. So in the information theory, ITC problems, we were discussing only about 7 comma 4 codes, 8 comma 4 codes, 12 comma 8 codes. So maximum we had reached to that part. If we want to go for the higher level of bit value, we are going for the Gole code or read Solomon code, right? So there, to understand this concept was very difficult, because we don't have any problems, we don't have any numerical values which we can use and solve these things, right? So there also explanation also, it is not clearly given, right? So these bits now, what is the bit level we are going to process the data? It is of 64 bit length or 128 bit length. So for this bit length, how much should be your prefix value, right? Or your check prefix value. So all these things will be a very complicated type, and these things will be generated by the system itself. We are not going to generate, right? So example, take this COVID app only. You are giving your mobile phone, and randomly it is generating a 6-digit OTP, and how many people will be logging into that portal, and how many OTPs it should send the server. So it is a huge concept, and every time when you are sending it, it should be a unique one. It cannot be a repeated one. So these are all information you need to take care when you are generating the thing. And randomly we will be generating, not in the what we call a systematic way. Because if you go systematic way, then everyone can decode your password. That is the thing here. So here this CRC addition, it is only to protect your data, so that it cannot be lost or a noise cannot be added. So that is why we have this. Again, for this one, we will be sending an acknowledgement. What will be your positive acknowledgement? What will be your negative acknowledgement? So all those steps we have many time discussed. Okay. So in detail, I will not go to this one. So what is the features of this CRC addition? So here he is saying all the points with respect to those values, right? So positive acknowledgement, if they are different than negative acknowledgement, positive are abbreviated by ACK command and ADCK command, right? So these are the parts or important features of a CRC addition. Then we have a code block segmentation. So why we do segmentation? Because we wanted to have a clear picture, and we should be knowing how many bits we are transmitting and how many bits we are receiving, right? So that is one of the important part. So to know that one, you should generate the code blocks, right? So that is why we will calculate everything perfectly, right? That is information theory and coding. The order is very important. So we were writing C equal to, C order was 1 cross n, right? Where D into G, right? So we were getting k cross 1 or 1 cross n, so it will be 1 cross n. So the order, if it is matching, then you will generate the exact code word, right? So to generate that code block segmentation, we will be using generally this expression. So here you can see, if B, what is B is nothing but your attachment, okay? Z value is nothing but your size which will be going to have. So usually the Z value will be 6144. So B value is less than or equal to Z, the value will be 1. If B value is greater than Z, okay, the attachment value is greater, because we are having two types of values. Every time we will be having this parity check values as n comma k, is it or no? So n comma k, where n is always greater than k, right? So what happens, because you are going to have prefix value k plus n, right? So your C value will be always greater than your message bits, will be always greater than message bit. So to have these conditions sorted out, So they are going to use this expression. Okay, so it breaks the long sequence into C code blocks and adds an additional 24 bits CRC sequence to each block. L is the number of CRC parity check. L value we are calling L plus K, not N plus K. It is L plus K. Okay, L plus K. So each of these code blocks are then encoded independently. So when you add your message data with the code blocks and when it is transmitted, so it is left to the channel and the receiver to decode the part. So how we are going to decode? So we have this decoding algorithm. So code block segmentation, why we are going to do is that you want to make sure that all the parts of the data is received properly at the receiver, because whole data we cannot send it, right? We have seen many times this thing, right? So that is why project work also they have divided into 4 or 5 people, right? The what is the advantage of, so group teamwork you are going to know, communication improvement will be there, right? Still what leadership qualities will be there. So all those you can do in a smaller group. 4 people will suggest or 2 people will suggest, because 2 people is minimum value, 4 people will be maximum value, because you can have better results if you follow these guidelines. That is the only intention. Sir, my 5 friends are there, 5 people we wanted to do a project, that is not allowed, because 5 people if they are there, so now only if there are 4 people or 3 people, 1 or 2 people will be doing, another 2 people will be simply present. Okay, simply because in presentation also we have seen 4 people will be there, only 1 or 2 people will be talking, another 2 people will be simply standing, because we don't want to have those kind of problems. That is why everyone should contribute. That is the main thing, right? Only 2 people if it is there, so it will be not have much any contributions, because those 2 people only should coordinate. So there is no much coordination between other. So these are all things will be there. Same application, it will be followed for this code block segmentation also, but using these expression. Okay. Next will be of your channel coding. So channel coding, you should be knowing what type of channel processing it will take, what is the rate, coding rate it is going to have. So here we are going for a tail bitting convolutional coding and convolutional turbo coding. So again completely it is with respect to the ITC we had done with the help of this convolutional coding. So convolutional coding we were having time domain approach, what was transfer domain approach, right? We using expression and using this one. And one more topic was there which we call it as a matrix matrix method to find the convolutional code. So out of linear block code, out of cyclic redundancy code or other code, so we felt that generation of coding is very easy with the help of this convolutional code. Okay, just a second. Sorry. So here he is giving what is the types included in the channel coding. One is tail biting convolutional coding. One is convolutional turbo coding. So what is the difference here? It is with respect to the only the rate. Okay. It is with respect to the only rate. So coding rate is 1 by 3. Coding rate is 1 by 3. Block coding is 1 by 16. So what is coding and what is this channel coding is that how many types means that the coded data it will be there, how many bits you are going to transmit. So yesterday I was giving example that if I'm having a data of 0110 1001 0001, right? Now this is 8-bit data, okay? But this 8-bit data At a time 8 bits are not transmitted. So 4 bits are transmitted. Right. So this division we are going to check. So we will take 4-bit value and we will decode what is its symbol. We will take this 4-bit value. We are going to decode this symbol. Now coding grade, it is with respect to this individual part which is going to transmit. Right. So as a receiver, I will be having this receiver part. So 0 is entered. So 1 bit I will store into a memory. Right. Then 1 will enter. Then 1 will enter. Then 0 will enter. So 4 blocks are there. So this I will decode as a information. Right. So these are the two methods which you can find in this channel coding part. It is only with respect to the rate it is going to do and what are the different types. So you can see CFI coded, H index, DSI. So type 1 and type 2 both he is given. So that is why you can say for the type 1 what is the rate and for the type 2 what is this rate. So these are the different. This is one because it is a actual data which is there. This data will be universally accepted. So whenever you go, I want to go for this channel coding type, you will give a standard which is for the LTE. So this LTE will follow this one. So either you want to go for type 1 or type 2, you need to follow with this rate only. You cannot change. I have purchased, I will go with a new value that is not supportable. Okay. Then comes your rate matching. So rate mapping is nothing but your interleaving, bit collection and bit selection. Right. So these are the, as I said that your rate should match. Means what? The data rate which we are transmitting and which is reception. So both should be same order. If it is not in the same order, then what happens? Your data will be messy and you cannot identify the data. So rate matching is divided into these three sections. So one section is interleaving, performed in order to spread out the occurrence of the burst error codes of the code block, which improves the overall performance of a decoder. Right. So interleaving means what? Only data should not be there. In between something should be there. So that is what we are trying to do. So if only lecture was there, so then what happens? Many people will just turn on that data means app and they will leave you. Right. So in between if I ask a quiz, in between if I ask a question, so there will be some interaction going on. So then what happens? It will improve. Right. The efficiency will improve. Now you say previously we were giving only log assignment, module wise assignment. So last day everyone will be submitting that one. So it will become a mess. Now what do they have done? Every session they need to do. Every alternate days you need to conduct a quiz. You should show the videos. Right? You should do some activities so that you people will be engaged in the classroom. That is the thing. But still we have to go through because it is only with respect to the interest of a student what he wants. Right? I'm not telling for everyone. It is with everything. So if I explain, if I give details, if I try different methods, then you also will be very interested to attend this session to participate. If again routine class work or class thing is there, then what happens? You will tell that we will only prepare. But many people will join for the attendance sake also. That is also one problem. You also know it. I also know it. There is no other solution for this one. What my thing is that I want to introduce the concept to you because these are all completely technical concept and only theoretical knowledge is not sufficient. Okay, you should be working into a company, then only you will come to know, because you are all limit bounded to the syllabus of what VTU is there provided. So you go for any lab also. So lab also program and everything you will buy it. There is no uh, nothing what we call that. You write your program in a different way. You execute that one and you show to us. I have never seen any student doing this. Every time I will tell that you can write program in a different way, but I will find that finally you will ask, sir, what is the, where is the what you call manual, right? Lab manual. So you will prepare according to the manual and you will write it. That was the issue which we had faced with the DAC committee also as came. So DAC committee they came that you are doing the experiment. Whatever VT is prescribed that you have done. Where is the extra thing where you have done? This was asked for the SGL lab. I said, sir, SGL lab, this part is only software and this part is hardware. But this software program also, I have asked students to do the hardware. So he said, you have done good, but where is the proof? Right. So here also we should think more. That's what how we are going to. If you do extra thing also, it should be recorded. Means it should be recorded. Means what? It should be reported. It should be a report should be done. A report submission should be done in appropriate way. You should do. Right. Your presentation also there is a certain guidelines which you need to follow. And basic things which we will see, other things we expect that you design on your own, right? So how you want to explain the things, whether video you are going to explain or whether you are going to write and explain, whether you are just going to read and explain, right? It is all left to you how you are going to present it, right? Ultimately we will see what how much effort you have put, and based on that only we will going to decide, because knowledge we cannot uh, decide only on the presentation, right? So that day you may be presenting well or you may be not presenting well, right? So content is important for us. So how what you have learned, so that it will be very easy, right? You also will be able to identify how a faculty will teach, what information he is going to give, whether that will be useful or not. So these are all few things which you should understand. Okay, these all things will be not there in the textbooks. We should ourselves should do, right? So this is the interleaving part. Next we have the bit collection. So since the interleaving is performed separately by the for the symmetric and parity bits, a bit collection stage is required to place these bits in order to right order as needed to decoder. That is what I was telling. So here there will be a space where your bits are received, right? And there will be some bit collection. So I have collected the data here, right? Then what happens? It will be of bit selection. So which are active, which are not active. So those are all things I need to select. So those steps you can observe here. So there is a coded block, streamlined, interleaver part. So you have all sorts of data which have been collected. Out of this collection data, I will select only the data information. Other information I will suppress. Right? Your parity bits are all those six. At the receiver, it is not needed. Okay. At the receiver side, it is not needed. So channel coding processing. So this is the last part in this one. So concatenation, why we are going to do is that, so words will be in a different, see here, these are all different types of word, or in between you are having some parity bits, which is not required. So I have done this selection, but this should be concatenation. Concatenation. So what is concatenation? Rearranging your words according to the sequence number. So this is what the code block, because you are transmitting for a 24-bit CRC. So how many bits will be there? So all those six should be arranged. So in the general, the summary what is trying to tell is that in the downlink, the base station adds a 24-bit CRC to each DLCH SCH data link segment codes into the blocks with a maximum size of 61144 bits, and adds another CRC to each one to then pass through the 1/3 data rate turbo coder. The rate matching stages stores the resulting bits in a circular buffer and then selects bits from the buffer for transmission. The number of transmitted bits is determined by the size of the resource allocation, and the exact choice is determined by the redundancy version. Finally, the base station reassembles the coded transport blocks and sends it to the physical channel processor in the form of a code words. So these are all process which we have to follow, right? So your signal, which was ABC information, was converted into a signal, and this signal was converted into a bits, and this bits we encoded, pre-coded, prefixes and transmitted, and finally you are going to receive this part, right? And this we call it as a channel coding processing. Okay, this we call it as a channel coding processing. So next part will be of your modulation process. So modulation process, so again you remember this is a block diagram. So you are receiving the code words. So once you receive code words, what is the steps it is going to follow? So this part we will cover in the tomorrow's session. Okay, so I will take up the attendance.